one preseason game can't tell. You can't tell everything from one preseason game. But my problem with Paige Bueckers is that she's in a situation where she's not going to succeed unless she makes it. She makes herself succeed. Like, Caitlin Clark would not have succeeded with Christy Sides with Paige's mentality. And I mean that. Christy Sides wanted Caitlin Clark to slow the game down. Christy Sides wanted Caitlin to slow the game down, to pass the ball to Aaliyah Boston, and play through the paint. That is what Christy Sides wanted to do. Christy Sides wanted Caitlin Clark to slow things down and play through the paint and do all of this stuff. However, do you guys know what Christy Sides did? Or what Caitlin Clark did? Screw that, I'm doing my own thing. Screw that, I'm doing my own thing. And Paige Bueckers has that ability. Like, nobody has ever questioned the ability of Paige Bueckers. And unpopular opinion, how many guards have the ability of Paige Bueckers in the WNBA? Paige has more ability than Arike Ogunbowale. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. How many guards have more ability than her? Caitlin, yes. We saw every shot Caitlin shot yesterday was stupid. Like, she has got more ability. She's stronger. She's faster. She's plays with a higher motor. And on the defensive end, I'm going to stand by this. There's not going to be any difference from that to WNBA level. Like, there's not going to be. The problem is they're playing with a coach and on a team that just does not work out. And instead of Caitlin Clark forcing the coach to play her style by just taking over games, controlling everything, being the one, Paige is going to play the coach's style. Paige is a shooter, though I ain't doubting that. No, Paige is 100% a shooter. Don't see Paige inspiring her team like she needs to. I think Paige can, like she did in that game against Oklahoma for UConn. The problem is, Paige Bueckers has come from Gino Auriemma. She's come from Gino, where I have to say, Gino Auriemma is, as you can love him or hate him, but Gino Auriemma wins. He knows women's ball. He's had so much success, and his systems are good. And again, I do understand the problem with Gino Auriemma's system. Sometimes it doesn't allow players to show off. Thank you so much for the $2, Daniel. Nobody's dumping Paige off the ball 100%. Nobody's guarding Paige off the ball. No one's even denying her. And that's the problem where it came with UConn, was that they've so many threats, and she was the number one threat, but you couldn't really double her. You couldn't do anything because there's so many good players around her. And that's the thing when it comes to WNBA. But the players are better. The schemes are better. The players are stronger. The players are faster. And those back cuts that Paige Bueckers is getting every time at UConn, when you have a Sarah Strong and AZ Fudd bought into this system and they're looking for that, she can get her scores off that. And when Paige just needs 1 to 2 back cuts, getting some easy buckets. And there was a couple of times she made those cuts and players just didn't hit her. She is on a team with Tiara McCowan, Nalissa Smith, Arike Ogunbowale, and Dejanay Carrington. None of them can pass the ball. There's not one person that can pass the ball to her. And the problem is now, is that she's coming in at the one, playing in a system where she passes the ball to the wing and she never gets it back. And then when she plays off the ball, they don't have good enough passers to see her on the cuts, to see her on her curls. Like, she got 2 shots because the Las Vegas Aces just did not guard her and she hit both of them. Paige is going to be a knockdown shooter. And I think Paige, there's a likelihood is that she might end up being a more Kayla McBride than anything else. And that's not a knock on Paige Bueckers. Anyone saying Paige Bueckers is going to bust is crazy. Is absolutely crazy. But Paige is going to be just a player under Chris Sides. She's playing under Chris Sides right now. She is playing under a coach whose offense is vibes. Whose defense, who literally said, well, we didn't prep for the Aces zone, so we didn't know what to do with that. You have a team of professional basketball players. You're a professional basketball coach, and you couldn't call a timeout and just go, look, we're going to run a simple offense. We're going to run a really simple offense, and we're going to just put you guys in this position. Like, do you guys not understand? Like, North Carolina's zone offense is literally bigs play high-low. Bigs have to be within one power dribble from the basket, and guards relocate on the wings. 3 guards relocate. That is the North Carolina zone offense. That's all you need to do. He literally said we didn't know what to do against the zone. A professional basketball coach said he didn't know how to draw up his own offense in a game. Like, this is Christy Sides all over again. This is Chris Sides. And the problem is, Paige is not going to average more than 15. Hell no. Hell no. And this is not a knock on Paige. I am not doubting Paige Bueckers' ability. I am not doubting that Paige Bueckers is going to be a star at some stage in her WNBA career. She is just in a really, really bad situation. She is basically in the situation that Caitlin Clark walked into in Indiana. And Caitlin Clark walked into a bad situation in Indiana. Caitlin Clark made it a good situation. She made it a good situation because she basically just said, no, Christy, I'm doing my own thing. Christy Sides, paint touches, slow it down, long twos. Nope, I'm not doing that. And she was good enough. She was good enough that the team did it. And the team worked. She's what Aaliyah walked into. No, Aaliyah Boston walked into a team that gave her every single paint touch possible. Aaliyah Boston walks into a team whose coach built a system around her. Caitlin Clark forced the coach to change her system. Caitlin Clark came into a system that was built around Aaliyah Boston, who's not as good as Caitlin Clark. Whereas now you've got a coach whose system is, as much as anything, going to be built around Arike Ogunbowale, who is not very good. And Paige is going to blend. Paige is going to blend into just a player. And I stand by this. If you want a player to dribble the ball up the floor, to just shoot open shots, to not do anything crazy, there's a player that does that better than her. And I have a weird feeling in the rookie year, there's going to be a lot of arguments. I think there's going to be a lot of arguments. And by the way, I think Paige has the upside. Yeah, Caitlin Clark ran the coaching team out of town. She was so good. But I think there's going to be a lot of debates between people. The debates have been between Paige and Caitlin. I think the debates are going to be between Paige and Caitlin's cousin very soon. I think this is what the debates are going to be. Because if Paige Bueckers is playing as a tertiary option, she's also a tertiary option. And she has less flaws. She has no flaws. Neither does Paige. Do you want to know what the difference is? Better defender. Longer. Sony Citron's longer. And Sony Citron is not better than Paige Bueckers. She is not better than Paige. But she is a better fourth option than Paige Bueckers. And I am watching Dejanay Carrington shoot one-leg fadeaway mid-range shots. One-leg fadeaway mid-range shots. Jacite for Rookie of the Year. Jacite's not playing this year. Jacite might be Rookie of the Year next year. She's not playing this year. Layla Khan might be. Or none of the Europeans are going to be Rookie of the Years because they're leaving for a month of the season. But Paige is better than her. If the LA Sparks got the number 1 pick and Paige was on the 1, I would have no doubt about it. Paige would be Rookie of the Year. Paige would be Rookie of the Year. And Paige plays multiple positions. And every single one of those multiple positions is going to have her standing there and watching Arike Ogunbowale. Every one of those positions is going to have her standing there watching Arike. Whereas if you look at this Mystics team, their biggest quote-unquote ball hog is going to be Brittany Sykes, who's not even really a ball hog, not a true point guard. Shook Sutton just didn't even look at the basket. She just started passing. She actually looked okay facilitating-wise. I like Jade Melbourne off the bench. And the difference is that, in fairness to Sydney Johnson, I thought their offense looked pretty decent. I thought their offense looked a little bit decent. I liked Mike Tebow or Eric Tebow as a coach last year for them. Obviously, didn't want to tank, so fair enough. But Kurt Miller, what is Kurt Miller's obsession with this guy? He's had him as an assistant in a bunch of places, and this is your Lynn Dunn hire. This is your Lynn Dunn hire. Lynn Dunn liked Christy Sides as an assistant coach, a guy who has never been an assistant coach or a head coach ever in his life, and brings him in as a head coach. And it's clear that he doesn't have the first clue about the sport of basketball. It's clear he's probably a great assistant coach and probably a great motivational speaker. And we're looking at a team whose offense is pin downs, whose offense is ISOs and pin downs, and give the ball to Tierra McCowan way too much. Way, way too much. A good coach and a good GM would have put Tiara McCowan in for the expansion draft and hoped that she'd be off the roster. Like, it's a bad situation for Paige to be in. And again, I'm not knocking Paige Bueckers. Everybody's calling me the biggest Paige Bueckers hater. And no, I know, and I stand by this. I stand by this when it comes to Paige Bueckers. If having high expectations, because I think she could be a all-W player, is hating on Paige Bueckers, then I'm Paige Bueckers' biggest hater. Or maybe expecting Paige Bueckers to be better and knowing she has the ability to be better and not being happy with Paige Bueckers blending into the background and continuing to pass the ball to Enrique when she can't shoot, can't score, and continuing to pass the ball to Dejanay for one-leg fadeaways instead of calling her own number. If I have a problem with that level of passiveness and just saying, no, we're going like ISO ball, we're playing bad basketball. I don't care that we didn't do that. I don't care that we're doing that. Like, I'm not doing what the coaches tell me to do. I'm going and getting mine. If everyone else is getting theirs, I'm getting mine. Which is what I would hope she does. Again, I would rather Paige be in a better system. Like, there are a lot of systems where Paige would be exceptional. But, no. If that's hating on Paige, if hating on Paige is having high expectations of her and not being happy when she just stands there and watches, then I'm a hater. I'll say it. I'm a hater if that's what hating on Paige is.